Hey guys, so today I'm going to be revisiting a series that is very near and dear to my heart. It's my kind of mental health well-being series. I will link the playlist for this kind of series below if you do want to check it out, but for today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 simple ways that you can try and incorporate some kind of self-care into your daily life. Personally, I think that self-care is very important. I don't think that it should be a luxury. I don't think it should be kind of scoffed at if people do say that they do take care of themselves. And in my head, I always do go back to thinking like when you're on an airplane and they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first because, you know, if you're dead, you can't really help anyone else. So whether this is your first foray into self-care or if it's something that you've been struggling with for a while, wherever you fall on that self-care scale, hopefully there will be something you can take away from this video. So number 1 is routine. This is definitely easier said than done. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, but I do think it's probably also one of the most important things you can do for your own kind of mental health and well-being. I do think this one is especially important if you do have any type of mental health problems because they can seem very overwhelming and unpredictable. Whereas if you do try and incorporate some kind of routine into your life, you do kind of get that a little bit of a sense of control and that you know where things are going, so you should hopefully be less anxious about things overall. And definitely set attainable goals that will work for you. So if you have barely even got out of bed this week, maybe don't set a goal that you are going to work out for the next 7 days, because that might just not happen and you might end up feeling kind of crappy that you in your head think that you failed when you haven't. It's just life. So whether it's just getting out of bed, eating breakfast every day, showering before a certain time of day, or even just going out for a walk once a day, set goals that are easy for you to achieve, that you can kind of check off and feel good about. And chances are you will slip up because you're human, but don't be so hard on yourself when you do. Just make sure that your next choice is a good one. Number 2 is to create. Now, some of you might kind of identify yourself as a very creative person, whereas others might feel like they don't have a creative bone in their body. So I'm not suggesting that you carve a life-size sculpture of yourself. All I'm suggesting is that you do something creative. So whether it's like painting, creating a physical photo album and decorating it, it might be an adult coloring book, it might be doing some nail art, but I definitely think there's something awesome about channeling your creative energy, even if you don't feel like you're particularly talented in that area. And maybe none of these things appeal to you. Maybe you're more of a chef. Maybe you want to decorate some cookies or plate your dinner in a super fancy way. Just do something that kind of calls out to you, or something that you might have put off for a while because you think it's like not super important. I just think that visually seeing that you can create something beautiful is an awesome feeling, so definitely give it a go. And if it doesn't go well, just don't dwell on it, move on to something else. Number 3, sleep regulation. So I have seen many doctors, not only for my own mental health issues, but for loved ones as well. And one thing that every doctor will stress is how important sleep is. So whether you struggle with mania or depression, or you're somewhere in between and just struggling, it's definitely of the utmost importance that you try and regulate your sleep. Sleep not only has many physical benefits, such as organ repair and tissue repair, but it's almost certainly going to help improve your mood if you are getting the right amount of sleep for you. So if you struggle to keep a normal sleep cycle, whatever that is, or if you have a delayed sleep cycle, just try making small adjustments. So maybe right now you sleep from like 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't suddenly try and switch. Just try and make small changes, like maybe the next day get up at noon and go to bed an hour earlier than you usually would. And just inch closer to your goals that way. And then on the flip side, you might also be a bit of a sleep dependent, like I definitely used to be. And I used to take naps whether I was happy, sad, angry, cold. Any occasion could bring on a nap. So I made a conscious effort to take less naps a few years ago now, and I haven't looked back since, because naps are definitely the gateway drug to sleep for me. So try and work on your sleep routine. Number 4 is to talk about it. This is another really obvious one that can also be very hard to execute. So if you don't yet feel comfortable saying, I'm feeling a bit weird mentally, can we have a chat? Just start by asking a friend if you can hang out because you need a distraction or you need some pal time. And chances are they will catch on to what you're saying and will ask you questions, and you can just go from there. And if you are already a little bit more comfortable with asking for help, just let it out. Call a family member or friend and just let them know that you're having a hard time. Personally, I will always call my mom. I don't necessarily even have to say anything, but she'll immediately be like, Rianne, what's wrong? And we usually end up laughing about it, and I find that that's the best way for me to move on from from whatever is going on in my head. And I am very aware that not everybody has close friends or family, so I am going to link some resources below if you do feel like you need to talk to someone. And if you do feel that way, please don't hesitate. Just make yourself do it right now for you or for me, whichever makes you do it. And number 5 is take time to feel. A lot of the time we might think that distracting ourselves from either bad thoughts or things going on in our lives is the best way to go. And I do think to an extent that it is, but I also think that sometimes we need to feel those emotions. As crappy as they might be, I do think that sometimes we need to go through things to get where we want to go instead of going around them. Or sometimes those issues just never get dealt with. Sometimes I'll even set aside 10 minutes so that I can worry about or overthink this certain thing, and then I will write down how I can fix it if I can and just go from there. Because being anxious or worrying about something that you can't change isn't very productive. It might feel like you're doing something about the issue, but you're really not. You're just kind of making yourself suffer. So try not to dwell on whatever the issue is, but also don't hide from it either. And crying can absolutely be therapeutic, so if you feel like you need to have a little meltdown, schedule yourself one and do it. You might find that none of these things work, but in the process of trying them out, you might find things that do. So you just really have to try, even if it's very small things, like I said, waking up before noon or making yourself eat breakfast. Celebrate the small things and know what works for you and put some importance on that. Like really make sure that that is a priority for you to do in your self-care routine, whether it is something as simple as eating that day or if you need to do something more like an hour of yoga. Just do what works for you. So these are definitely my kind of must-do basics of self-care. If you do want me to get into something, I guess, a little bit more advanced, like once you've got all of these basic things down, do let me know because I would love to make more videos on this. And please do leave any tips or resources that you like to use in the comments down below, or maybe even open up to someone in the comments and make some new friends that might be going through similar things. I know that for me, when I get stuck inside my own head, sometimes doing things to help other people is the best way to get out of that. It kind of helps put things in perspective as well as being a good distraction. And if other people are going through things, sometimes going through them with them can also help you go through your own things. So I guess really all I have to say is just be nice to yourself and make yourself a priority because you absolutely deserve it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you would like to see next in this series and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So yeah, do some yoga. And I like to light candles, incense, like dim the lights, get some good music going, and again, really just enjoy the process of it all, because you might even only do like 15 minutes of yoga, but I think that if you really make it enjoyable and like a thing that you have to do because it does, you know, if it works for you, that is,